everyone, welcome back to another edition of Ask Ron. Ron's back fresh from Seattle to answer your questions this week. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, Ron, first question from Phil Barber. Phil from California. Hey Ron, in the first ACTS training video, you mentioned that you paid a realtor $2,500. Can you explain how that deal came about and what you said to the realtor?
Sure can, Phil. First of all, Debbie, there's no such thing as a realtor. There's no A in the middle of realtor. Just want to point that out. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And Phil, the answer to your question was because the realtor brought in the tenant buyer who had $10,000, and I guess they found us on the website. I'm not even sure. Maybe the buyer went to the realtor to approach us, I guess. Sometimes that happens. So we just made a deal with the realtor. Yeah, we'll take your tenant buyer and we'll lease option the house to them, and your commission is $2,500, and our assignment fee is $7,500. So that's the way we set it up. And those funds were dispersed, I believe, at closing by the attorney to make it all official. The attorney wrote them a check for $2,500 and us an assignment fee for $7,500. And we agreed upon that going in, and we had a little written agreement between ourselves that we just handed to the attorney. So that's why. The realtor wanted more, but no, we said no, we'd rather find our own tenant buyer than give up more than $2,500 out of a $10,000 fee, because this is a $240,000 house. $10,000 fee is not hard to come by. By the way, speaking of Seattle, guys, just came back from there. What a great group you are. If all you new Seattle Go Club members are watching, a great time out there. Ate at Purple, had some great food. We was downtown Bellevue is actually where we were, and I'm looking forward to getting back out there in April and getting that 4-day boot camp done, because we're going to have a blast. We put a lot of folks in it while we were out there. And you guys, I'm sending you an email, and you should all know that I am, if you're coming to the Quick Start event, I'm scheduling a call with Elsa, the person that gets the VAs for you this week, and we're going to go over what she does and what she doesn't do and what a VA can do for you, and we're going to send you the link to that call so you can drag it down and listen to it and get your VA working to get in plenty of time to prepare for the actual event and get plenty of FSBOs piled up. So, and if you guys weren't in Seattle, we'll let you in on that call as well. So everybody will be privy to it. But it's especially important to those that's got a boot camp coming up in about 3 weeks.
Okay. Our next question is from Leonard Kraft. Should I pay a $100 consultation fee for 15 minutes to ask a lawyer if he or she works with investors and lease options?
Leonard, if you got to pay a lawyer to find out if he's the right kind of lawyer, the answer is absolutely not. When a lawyer wants to pay to answer some questions to determine whether they're doing the kind of work that I want them to do, I'd say, man, that lawyer is going to ding you to death. You're not going to like the fees and the charges you're going to get from that kind of a lawyer. All lawyers, at least their staff, could spend a few minutes with you on the telephone and find out if there's a reason for you guys to do business together, and most of them absolutely will do that. Now look, they're just pre-screening you. I don't blame him for doing that, but tell me, can't his legal assistant get on the telephone with you and find out what you want and see if they're the right fit or not? No way I'd pay them $100 to find out if I should give them my money. By the way, we just did a when to hire a lawyer, where to find them, and why you want them lesson. So be on the lookout for that if you haven't seen it yet. It's coming up in the next week or two.
Okay, Ron, Paul Zell from Atlanta area would like to know, do you have a list of hard money lenders? Do you have a list of private money lenders in the Atlanta area?
Paul, please. Frankly, sir, that is really a dumb question. Please don't ever ask anyone for the name of their private lender, because everybody that I know that has private lenders would rather give you a date with their wife than give you the name of their private lenders, man. Dumb question. That is one thing you will not get any other investor to share with you. And don't even ask that question again. If you want private lenders, you have to go find your own private lenders. Follow the system that I've given you. You're never going to get anybody to give you one on a golden platter. Think about it. If you have private lenders, would you give that name up to another investor to come suck up all the money that you found, so now that you can't use it for your own benefit, especially when there's absolutely no gain in it for you, and you cannot get paid for putting a private lender with a borrower unless you have a mortgage broker's license. So don't ask that question again. Spend some time to go find your own private lenders. In fact, Jay Connor has got an event coming up here in the end of this month. next weekend exactly in Jacksonville, 2 days, all about just that subject. And he's got a webinar coming up, if it hasn't already passed. Stay tuned to that. Let the man who does private lenders, and will teach you how to do them, and even do them for you if you want, address that subject for you. But don't ever ask anybody for a list or a name of a private lender again. It makes you look amateurish and instantly tells them that you don't know what you're doing yet. You hang in there. I understand that I'm a little brutal on you, but that's my job. I'd rather it be me than somebody out there that creates a relationship gap that wasn't necessary to create because you asked that question. So don't let it come out of your mouth again, sir. All right, on that positive tone, what's next?
Okay, from Chris Manduano. Chris is from Gilroy, California.
Hey, Chris.
I got a call today from an owner who will finance the house for me, but how can I be sure and find out if the house has been paid on time?
Well, Chris, I don't understand the question. If the owner is going to finance it for you, why do you care what he's going to do with his money? If he's got an underlying mortgage, he's going to pay it on time. It's not in his advantage not to. And any mortgage, the wraparound mortgage, or any all-inclusive trust deed, which is what you're going to be doing in California, is going to have language in it that if you pay him, he's obligated by law to pay the underlying debt. Because if he doesn't, he's violating your agreement, and frankly, you got a lot of recourse against him for that. So I think you're worrying about needless stuff. You need to know what the underlying debt is, but as long as it's less than what you owe him, it's kind of irrelevant. And if it doesn't get paid, then you have actions that you can take. I hope that there's equity between what he owes and what you'll owe him, because if there is, and he acts up on you, you've got a very good case to go wipe out all that equity and probably get way more back than what it cost you to make up some payments if he gets behind. Anytime, if that thing were to happen to get behind and they actually file foreclosure on it, and it was on public record that you bought it with a wraparound device, they'd have to serve you anyway, so it's not like they could foreclose it out without you knowing it. Granted, it would be several months behind by then, but that also gives you an opportunity to come in and take any equity out of the deal that's built into it for him because he didn't live up to his contract. Anyway, you have legal rights. Don't let things like that stop you from doing deals. That seller's not going to take your money and not pay the underlying. And incidentally, if you're really concerned about it, you can insist that an escrow company, a third-party escrow company, collect your payment and make the underlying payment for you. And it's probably a smart thing to do if you have any reason to believe the seller won't make the payment. It's going to cost you $10, $15 a month and probably about a $100 setup fee. But the good thing is that the same escrow company will give you an end-of-the-year statement, give your seller an end-of-the-year statement, and make it easy for both parties to feel comfortable with the deal. So that's what I do. Get a third-party escrow company that collects payments. And if you don't know one, they're all over the place. Just go on Google, company that collects payments, and you'll find a whole list of them like that. God bless Google.
Okay, next from Hal Hammond. He is from Fountain Inn, South Carolina.
Hello, Hal, the other side of the country. We're bouncing back. Okay.
I have a couple of potential ACTS deals where the seller's payments are very reasonable.
Good.
They have asked if it is okay for them to charge a little extra each month to make it worth their while. For instance, the mortgage is $700 PITI. They would want to collect $800.
All right.
The areas would support the monthly payments. My gut says that should work. What does your gut say?
Hal, if it's an ACTS deal and you don't have any monthly spread coming, I don't care. That's entirely up to you and the seller. It's not going to benefit you if you collect $800 or $700. It's probably just as easy to sell one way or the other, so why don't you just give the seller what they ask for? It's fine with me, as long as it doesn't take money out of your pocket. And if you're doing an ACTS, it won't take money out of your pocket. So don't fight it. Yield to it, as long as it's reasonable.
Okay, great. All right, we've got a brand new student here, Ron, Dustin Briggs.
Hello, Dustin Briggs.
Dustin is asking, what is the best product to buy first? Where do I start if I'm totally green?
Dustin, the answer to that would be my ACTS product, which is really not an ACTS product. It's called Control Without Ownership. Brand new, hot off the market. And in fact, I'm filming a brand new version of it here in April on the 14th and the 15th in Jacksonville, if you want to come down to that. In fact, for the $9.97 that it costs to buy the ACTS product, you can come down to the live ACTS event if you want and get the ACTS product at no additional charge, so you might want to consider that. Plus, we're doing a all-day affiliate training on the 13th, where we'll teach you how to make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month just being an affiliate for Gold Club and get an ongoing residual revenue by sitting at home and doing computer work, or better yet, having your VA do it, because we're going to have the VA there. So the answer is the Control Without Ownership product, because it's the fastest, the easiest way to get a check in real estate today, and it's a great way for you to start getting those $5,000 to $10,000 checks coming in.
Okay.
And you can get that right here on the site, or you can just call our office or email us or whatever. I'd rather see you get into the Quick Start event, which is a 4-day event, which includes ACTS and all the other techniques as well. You can still get that for $2,500 if you'd rather and get a great big package of stuff. You'll find that at ronsquickstart.com, ronsquickstart.com, and it includes ACTS. Next one will be in Seattle here in about 3 weeks, followed by Dallas a couple of weeks thereafter.
Okay, great. We might also mention too, Ron, that the affiliate training on the 13th is free for them to come to.
Affiliate training is free, guys, and all of you really, if you want to make, seriously, this is a really cool event. I'm bringing in the internet geeks. In fact, I'm bringing in one of the guys who works for Microsoft. He's just going to happen to be here on that weekend, so he's volunteered to help us. And we're going to show you all kinds of neat ways to make money by just being an affiliate of Gold Club. In case you haven't heard yet, we're changing the affiliate agreement to where you're going to get $25 per month for every single month that your referred member stays in forever, as long as they're a Gold Club member. And you just do yourself a little math on that one. Get 100 people in our system. That's $2,500 a month we send you for doing nothing, and you keep getting that. And all you got to do is put your new link in front of them that we give you. And we're going to teach you all day on how to do that in multiple ways. It costs you nothing to come, and it costs you nothing to drive this traffic. Drive the traffic to our link, which takes them to a $1 offer, which is a killer $1 offer, and it puts them in the Gold Club. And as soon as we start charging their card a month later, we start sending you the check for $25 for every single one of them you put in. Just do your own math. By the time we spend all day teaching you how to do it, plus have the VA there to do almost all the work for you, which is what I'm going to do. The VA promised to be there. We're going to make a list of what we want the VA to do. Well, so here comes traffic. Well, you're doing nothing. Just get the VA to do the grunt work for you. Next thing you know, you start getting checks. This is truly a home-based business opportunity that's right in the middle of what you're already doing. You're a Gold Club member. Why not make money from being a Gold Club member? So make sure you keep April the 13th open. April 13th is free. You started it, so I told them. Right.
Okay, David DeWert from Indianapolis has written in to ask you if you have found a best day of the week and time to call on FSBO leads.
Best day of the week and time, no, but best day of the time of the day, somewhere between 6 and 9 p.m. generally. But the truth is, some of them you can't get at night, you got to call it day. So what you got to do is have the VA run through the list during the day, and then run through the ones you couldn't get a hold of again between 6 and 9 p.m. And you'll probably do much better between those hours than you do at day. Of course, some people work during the evening and are home during the day, so you got to do them both.
Okay, last one, Ron. This is in response to your listing book lesson 50 from last week.
Yeah.
John Rudiman wrote in and wanted to know if you had any suggestions as to what to do if there are no agents in his area that have signed up for the service.
Well, I think you can go sign up for Listing Book yourself. You have to check that out, but I can't believe. Where's he from?
He is, let's see.
I have a hard time believing that if they're REO agents, they haven't signed up for the service. And that's the first thing I'd want to check, man. If they're not REO agents, they probably wouldn't need that service. If they are REO agents, I can't imagine them not signing up for it. I mean, it's every day it's sending out prospects to their clients. And it's all bank-owned properties, short sales, and some investor properties on there, but they're all distressed properties. That's why they're on there. So I'd probably do a little bit more asking around, but start with the people that are known to be REO agents, not the one that say they are because they sold 2 REOs this year. If they're in the REO business, you shouldn't have any problem getting that from them. In fact, they would love for you to have it. All right, I hope that answers that question.
Okay,
Is that all of them?
And that was it.
All right, guys, see you next week.